In question 5, you're looking at drawing precedence graphs for a number of activities. Please notice that when you get from C to E, you'll be looking at dummy edges. Dummy edges will be used in cases where one activity may not necessarily need a previous activity. We have to indicate where that's the case. Now, to start off with, strongly advise you use a pencil. So we've got our start and our finish, and scan through. This concept of scanning through is going to become more and more important. You'll notice, I hope pretty quickly, that activity A has no predecessors. So A will fit in first. If you wanted to be a little bit braver, you'll notice that activity G is the last activity mentioned. So I can put G in as well. Remember, the activity fit between the nodes or the vertices. Now, activity B only needs activity A, so we'll draw that in next. But then we come to a situation of where we're going to have a junction. Activity C requires B, but activity D also requires B as well. So I'm just going to put a more rougher sketched line in there, and I'll call that one, in this instance, D. And I'll just draw a little branch there for C. Activity E requires C, and you'll notice that F requires E and D. Now, just to check, C requires B, E requires C, and F require both E and D to be completed. Now, you might like to take the opportunity just to neaten that up a little bit, but you can see the basic premise there of how we can go about these. In a moment, I'll be taking you through activity C, which will be our first instance, where we have to make use of a dummy edge. Moving on to part C, we'll see that you're told there that you'll need dummy edges in the case of C, and one more when we look at B. So you can see activity A and B kick things off. Activity G is going to be at the end. I might just sketch in G. Now, A and B kick things off. So there's a few ways in which you could draw this. I notice that C requires A and B completed, but we've got activity D that only requires B. So I might just draw a little branch down here. That could be my activity B, activity A. Now, when we get to D, I can draw D in here. D only requires B, and F only requires D to be completed. So I could draw this lower branch in. Now we come to a bit of a problem here, because activity C requires not only A to be completed, but it also requires B to be completed. We get over this situation. I might just erase that and polish that up a little bit, move them along just a little. We get around this circumstance by including what we say is a dummy edge, which we denote as X0. It's an artificial one, but it means that I can tick the difference between D, that requires B only, as opposed to C, which requires both B and A. So the dummy edge there enables that to occur. Just to polish this up, what we've got, E needs C to be completed and completing there. So the dummy edge, denoted as X0, there's no time for that. It's an artificial joining of B to C, or precedent of B before C, but D does not require, it only requires B rather.